Well, also happening tonight, a rally to protect a homeless shelter in Gaston County. A church that houses and serves the homeless population in Gastonia has run into legal troubles with the city. The Faith, Hope, and Love Community Enrichment Ministries is facing fines and a lawsuit from the city of Gastonia. And tonight, supporters and other members of the community will rally outside the city council meeting.
But the city says the trailers on the property are a violation of city ordinance. For that, the city fined the church $60,000. Again, an amount Pastor Colbert says could shut down the whole operation. He says the church closing would be catastrophic for the homeless here. He says many feel they have nowhere else to turn and have been ticketed for sleeping on the streets. He's asking the city to work with him to help the homeless in Gastonia.
My name is Moses Colbert. I'm the pastor of Faith, Hope, and Love. I am here as an advocate for the homeless.
I was at Faith, Hope, and Love on Saturday, and I watched them do what they do every single day, feeding people in need, keeping to, as your coding people called it, keeping the matters of the faith.
What happens when they shut this down and these 75 to 125 people have to go? Because they're coming to your backyard. They're coming to the woods behind your house. This is a good ministry. I found my faith at Faith, Hope, and Love. Well, these are people. These are souls. These people need our help.
I have witnessed a lot that has happened, has went on, and it doesn't mean to just shut it down like another door closes just because something happens. We are people. We bleed the same way you do. We may live in tents or in wood shacks, still a home. I no longer call it a church, I call it home now. Just please don't shut it down.
I don't think Christ would put people out because they have problems, or because they had issues, or because they don't have a place to stay. I don't have a criminal record. You can check it. Never had a criminal record my whole life. Did everything by the book. But I ended up homeless. Not because I wanted to be, not because of anything I'd done wrong, but because I guess it was just meant to be.
The complaints made against Faith, Hope, and Love and Pastor Moses are that they call on the police for assistance too much, their camp is an eyesore, and the trailers meant for re-education and rehabilitation are a hazard to their health. To these accusations, I say, how much more will the police be contacted when these unsheltered individuals are purged from the only safe place that they have known and start looking for shelter under bridges and car washes and on the sidewalks in front of your local businesses? Needing assistance should seek out shelters and local churches known for helping those in need if they find themselves on the street. Should I assume that you meant they should seek out any church but this one?
I came to Pastor Moses January of this year. I was homeless. He gave me a place to stay. This man is a good man. Like he said, it could be one of y'all's family. It could be one of y'all out there and nowhere to go. And go to this man, I need a place to live. So please help him keep this place open for us. Because we have nowhere to go. My family turned their back on me. I'm by myself. I don't have a soul. So please help him keep it open.
I have an American flag shirt on. We're all Americans, from the tent to the White House.
I didn't want to disobey the law, but there's a law. God has a moral law that we must all comply to. That is, love thy neighbor.
First at 5 tonight, what happens when that love violates a city ordinance? Well, a pastor in Gastonia says that he's helped give homeless people in the city a place to eat and live, but city officials now are punishing his church for code violations. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Alicia Barnes.
And I'm Morgan Francis. The battle has resulted in close to $60,000 in fines for the ministry, but it's not deterring them from their mission. Queen City News reporter Will Lewis is live in Gastonia. And Will, the pastor told you that he feels like city government is trying to choke out his ministry.
He sure does, Morgan, and he says that the ministry is spending every penny to help feed the growing homeless population here in Gastonia. That pastor says he feels like the city should be working with him, but instead the fines continue to mount up.
Ring the bell, Pastor.
It's one of the few places in Gastonia where a person living on the streets can get a meal every day. Moses Colbert runs the Faith, Hope, and Love Community Enrichment Ministries. Colbert helping the unhoused since 2003.
They are telling me that I'm doing everything wrong, and there's no wrong way or no right way to help people.
The property on North Oakland Street where this meal is taking place is also generating a lot of city code violations. Gastonia code inspectors have cited the pastor for 2 trailers on the property without proper zoning, trash on the property, and an RV on the property which has been moved.
When they said that we have to have the trailers have to be up to code, they wouldn't even let us get that far with it. They just started finding us. We applied for all of the for everything, but they never let it go through.
So far, the fines total close to $60,000. A city spokesperson sent us a copy of the violations, which includes having multiple buildings on the property. In a written statement, the spokesperson said Mr. Colbert is free to feed the homeless and conduct classes during daylight hours, but he is not allowed to provide overnight accommodations, which would constitute a shelter.
Let's just get this. You run the largest
Homeless encampment in Gaston County. Yes.
So there's other places that take care of the homeless.
No, not like we do.
Okay.
What the reason being is the city has ran most of the people out of the other encampments, so they running them to us.
Okay.
We have people that has 30 tickets for being homeless. How do you get 30 tickets for being homeless? Now, these infractions turns into something else if they keep piling up.
What's the purpose of finding someone that has no income, no means?
Well, that's way above my pay grade. All I can wonder is okay, now I got a homeless person here that if they stop on the street, they're subject to get a ticket. If they sit out on the street, they're subject to get a ticket. If they get caught downtown, they're gonna get a ticket. If they get caught on Franklin, they're gonna get a ticket.
So what you're doing is you're giving them a safe space.
I'm giving them a safe place and make them feel like people, because they've been robbed of all of their dignity. They have places they can stay. That we serve a hot lunch every day, and we thank God for y'all coming and helping us out. We really appreciate that. That is such a blessing. And we allow them to take showers. We allow them to get their mail there, because they don't have an address, so we use the church's address for their mail. We let them wash their clothes there. What got us here today is we were donated some trailers by the Libertarian Party, the Republican Party. There's some people got together and they donated us some trailers, and they raised the money to get the trailers there.
Okay, so they wanted to bless you guys.
They wanted to bless us with trailers because we told them we need a place to be able to teach people on the dangers of using these drugs. We need to be able to teach people about life skills and job skills, and
yes, sir,
and be able to service their mental health and substance abuse needs. The trailers would have been perfect for that. And so what got us here is, we got the trailers, and then they came out in February and said, you don't have permits to have the trailers. I said, we've been downtown to talk to them about it, but they hadn't released the permit yet. They started finding us, and we're still in the permit process.
So they're sending letters, like official documents, government letters.
They sending letters.
But you're not getting them.
I'm not getting the letters. Yeah, they sending them to the Gaston Missionary Baptist Association,
which is not you.
That's not me. No, and the guy that signed for them is not me.
That doesn't make sense at all.
None. And they're holding me accountable for something that I didn't even know. And mind you, now I said, okay, I know we're in trouble, so let's go to work. So we went to work. We did everything they told us to do. They said, well, you got to have a surveyor to come out, survey the land. We got the surveyor to come out and survey the land. We got to make sure that the trailers are not setting over easement, which is a waterway.
Makes sense.
Come in. We took care of that. All that's taken care of. Okay, so I'm thinking, well, we good. We ready for court. I go down the court, look at them files. I said, oh my God. They took several pictures of the encampment, and the pictures that they took were people's huts. They said, that's trash. I said, that's where the people live at. His name was George Sweet Tea Taylor. He was a saxophonist in Gastonia. He lived in that neighborhood. And he came to me one day and said, Pastor, he said, the city is trying to find me. And I think they're going to try to take my house. Okay. I said, well, let's just get your house fixed up. So we went in and put a roof on the house.
Wow.
Put sheetrock back in the house, painted the house, got it nice, fixed it back and everything. And
so it's not out of code anymore.
No, so it's not out of code anymore.
Okay.
And they came and tore the house. They came in there with backhoes and tore the house down. That man got so depressed he went and killed himself the next week. They were gonna write us into a budget with the United Way. See, they all locked in together. So if they decide that you don't get no money, you don't get nothing.
So what happened? Why did they change their mind and say, now you get nothing?
Because we marched.
Okay, why were you marching?
We marched because people had died. People were dying from fentanyl overdose. People were dying from the elements. They were dying from being sick out here. You can't be sick out here in the brush and expect you're gonna be healthy. It just doesn't work. I mean, without people like yourself, I couldn't fight them. I can't fight them on my own, and they know this.
Yeah.
Because they've demonized me. They say, "Oh, he breaks the law. He's escaping the law." Either you break the law, or you don't. You don't escape the law. I've actually been told that. I've been told that you need to just take the posture of a pastor and leave all this other stuff alone. I said, if not us now, then who? If we don't do it, who's going to do it?
Amen.
Pastor, we don't do this now, then who's going to do this? I mean, there are other cities that's calling, crying out for us to come to their town and help with their homeless population. And we can't even do our own because we're getting gridlocked. We're getting stonewalled on every corner.
And it ought not be so.
It should not be so. No, this should be an easy process. They can come out and see for themselves. They can write a check to Faith, Hope, and Love Community Enrichment Ministries. Y'all can pray for us. If you have some gently worn clothes and everything, these people need stuff every day. They need, like the women. We got a lot of women out there that need feminine care products. They need stuff all the time. They need stuff to keep their hair clean, to keep their bodies clean. They need underwear, personal stuff that women just need, that we men that we don't even think about a lot of times.
Right.
But I hear it from them every day. Pastor, do you have any more? I'm like, yeah, I'll find you some. I'll run out the front door and run out the store, get something, come back. I don't want to think we're out of it. You don't need them thinking that. Hold it down. We got them. I just got to get my hands on them.